Good morning, y'all. Gosh, I look frazzled this morning. It has been kind of wild. And of course, I'm having computer problems. Is that not always the way it is? And it really stinks because this computer is not very old, but you would think that I have a ton of stuff on there because it takes forever for stuff to load, and I hate that. I'm trying to get my computer on to where I can see comments, but I'll probably have to wait until afterwards to answer any questions. But we're going to be making molds this morning. And I carry mostly Prima, but I have still got some from IOD that I'm going to have for sale. After this is over, I'll take pictures and post them on here, and they're going to be on sale. And I'll do the description and everything about those. But y'all, making these molds are so easy, and it really changes the look of just about anything you're working on. I've put them on jugs, bottles, books, furniture, just about anything that I can think of, I've put molds on, and people love them. And hang on, y'all, I am trying my best to get this down here. And of course it's not wanting to cooperate, but anyway, it's a little lag behind anyway. So I hope everybody's having a good morning. It's cloudy here, no sunshine, but at least there's no snow, there's no ice, and there's no rain. And hello, good morning, everybody. I don't want to get too close. I didn't sleep real well last night. But anyway, I'm going to show y'all some of the ones that I have done. And whenever I get through pouring them, I usually just spray paint, and I will show y'all that here in just a minute. But aren't those just lovely? Brooke keeps trying to get me to do them and send them to her. I told her no, she'd make her own. And LaDonna, how are you? And y'all, I have my contacts in, so I have to look sideways because they got the mono ones. Oh my God, and those are crazy. But anyway, let me show y'all what I use. You can use the paper clay like this. And y'all, I was really hoping that I would have my other in from Prima, but it's not coming in until probably Wednesday. And I'll jump on and do a real quick one to show y'all how easy that it's kind of like molding paste, but it's really soft, so I can't wait to get my hands on it. For me, the clay, or this clay, my hands don't like me after I mess with it because you kind of got to knead it and push it and all that. So I don't use it, and most of the time I'm in a hurry. So I want something that I can use and get done. And this is what I use, and it's called Amazing. I also have these for sale. And I finally found a distributor where I can kind of compete with Hobby Lobby, or you can use your 40% coupon and get it at Hobby Lobby, and I think theirs is $19.99, and I can sell mine for $14.99. So of course then you're going to have to pay shipping, but I use pirateship.com, and their shipping has beat everyone's, so that's who I use for all my shipping needs. But the Amazing, the kind that you want to get, is you want to make sure that it turns white, and this sets up in 10 minutes, and y'all will see that because I'll go through the process for you. And let's see, I do have some clay that I kind of needed a while ago, and I'll show y'all that you can use that too. But the reason I like the Amazing, for one, it sets up in 10 minutes, and once the heat leaves and they've cooled, I just use spray paint. And these are some that I spray painted this morning. They're still a little, and I like the flat. This was a shiny, I didn't have the flat, but it just depends on what the look you're going for. And this, no, that says flat. I grabbed the wrong can. But any spray paint that you can find will work. This one, I kind of like how it turned out. I didn't do a really full coverage on it, just kind of a pass as I went over it. And this is the one that I used for that. And I'll take pictures of these and post them in the comments. And then this one, I just used the metallic. So there's a lot of different ways, looks that you can go for. Most of the time mine are, I just paint them black. But then I use gilding jewels, and I'll show y'all that in just a minute. But let me turn this down. Oh, first, in the Amazing, they give you these little cups. I hate them because whenever you use them and you start to pour it, it runs down this way and you can't see as it goes into your mold. So I use these. These are like condiment cups, and it has that hard ridge. So that way whenever you pour it, it pours straight into your mold and you're not wasting because it comes straight down. You can also use powder pigments inside your Amazing, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. I'm trying to find some pure pigments, and I think I have some from whenever I used to faux finish, because I want to use to see if I can get a true color. They usually end up a little bit lighter, and I had some already poured up that I had done like in a blue, but I couldn't find them this morning. So but anyway, I'm going to turn this down so that y'all can see what I'm doing. Okay, I think that's crooked. All right. As you can see, these are some of the ones that I've done. And also, this box here will do, depending on the size of your molds, I've done up to 50. So that's quite a bit out of this container. That's a lot of molds. And I usually just do a whole bunch at one time, and then I will go ahead and spray paint them the colors I want. Now this was more a different spray paint. I think it was the hammered metal that I used. So you can really get a very cool look. So let me move this. Lord, I'm running out of room. And a thing that's really cool about the Amazing is, as you can see here, okay, I ran out. Okay, you just want to leave that, because whenever I pour some up here in a minute, I can go ahead and fill that. And you will never know that you added more product to that. It'll just look like you had just poured it. But what you do, and you know what, whenever I am pouring a lot of these, I'll use gloves, because it kind of leaves a sticky residue on your fingers and it'll turn them black. So, I mean, I don't whenever I'm just doing pouring a couple, but if I'm doing quite a few, I wear gloves and it keeps me from getting sticky. But you have, it's a 2-part epoxy, and what I do is I usually just fill, and it has to be equal parts. So I just really actually just eyeball it, and you want to make sure you get the right cap on the right one. If you don't, you won't get it off if you put it on the hardener. If you put this one on the hardener, you'll have to, like that. See? I was afraid of that. I usually try to have that open, but I'll have to get me some pliers to get into that. And then I just use little wood stir sticks to stir it. And again, I just kind of eyeball. It doesn't have to be perfect, but there is times that I have not quite got the proportions right, and they will be kind of flexible. So even though they do get hard, like, I mean, they're not really bendable. It's okay because I can show you how to make them bendable. And you can see that this is going to be cloudy. See how cloudy that gets? And you just want to stir it really well until you begin to see through it. See, you can kind of see the cloudiness has gone away. Okay. And that really needs to be level. So I'm going to set that right back here so y'all can see. I've got a hump there, but you want these to be level. And then you just pour it in. And a lot of times I may not completely fill my mold. And don't let me forget about the glue. I left my glue up at the shop the other day, but I will post the glue that I use. I've used just about everything out there, and I use the old-timey cement. It comes in a brown bottle, and it has a brush in it, and that's what I have gotten to using, and it works really well. Okay, now you can see that that's clear, and it will start turning white. And see, there's a spot right here that didn't fill, so I'm just going to take my stick, and I'm going to push it in any areas that I see that it needs to be filled. Now, once that sets up, this is how it looks. And look, you can just pop that right out. Okay? See, isn't that cool? Oh, there is something I did forget. Whenever I show the clay, whenever it comes in, I'll show y'all what I do to these that are so cool. They're really pretty, and it doesn't take 2 seconds to do them. And I was going to go ahead and fill that one up, but there's not enough. But I'll go ahead and mix some more right quick so that you can see how. Oh, and another thing, once you get through pouring, because you've poured this one into the hardener, and if you leave your stick in this one, once that turns white, you can take that stick and pull it out, and then this one is like nothing has ever been in it, and reuse it. These I don't, because there's something about them that you just can't hardly clean. So I usually just discard those. I'll go ahead and mix up another good little batch. I was sure disappointed that I didn't get my other, because I wanted y'all to see that, and I can't wait to play with it. But see, that's already clear, so it's ready to start pouring. Let me see if I can scoot that over. Oh, you know what? Well, no, I've already got that. I'll do that again and mix some. See, you can see how that's turning white in here. And this will kind of get warm on the bottom. In fact, that's kind of warm there. And then like right there, I got just a little bit too much. So I can just take and scrape it over into the other one. Because any of this residue will just peel right off. So you don't have to worry about it. Let's see. But this stuff really does go a long way. But again, you do want to make sure that you have it on a level surface, because it will run. And see, I don't have that full, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to take and I'm going to pull some of that over into there. And I hope y'all can see that. Okay. Now I'm going to mix some up so that y'all can, I'm going to slide that down. And I'm going to show you how to use some and baby wipes. I can't live without baby wipes. I sure wish my computer would catch up to where I could see what y'all was saying. Oh well. Okay, whenever you're using the powder pigments, you want to add it into the clear one first and stir it up. Okay. And it doesn't take much, y'all, at all. I'll put the lid back on that. But this is where you really want to stir that up good. And what's cool is, even though if you don't get it stirred up and you pour it in your mold, and whenever you pull it out, it kind of gives a freckle look to it. So it's pretty cool. I had looked for my black pigment, but I couldn't find it. See, that's pretty stirred up pretty good. Okay. And I'm just going to pour it all in there. Now, even though you can't see that the cloudiness is gone, you kind of, once you do this a couple of times, you'll kind of know that you've got it stirred up really well. And you do kind of want to always make sure you rub the sides, and that's with any kind of two-part epoxy. So I think that'll be ready. Let me see if I can find one right here. Yeah, we'll just do this flower. Even though our flower's not brown, we're going to do the flower. We'll just do all of these. And you can't really see it turning white either. But these set up in about 10 minutes. Love it, love it, love it. Now that one I almost got too full. And you know, you can, doing it that way, you can really create some different looks. And that one's still not quite ready. Okay, now to show y'all, lid, the difference is I use the gilding jewels. Oh, I wished I would have brought that stuff up for that one. And I usually use a lot of different colors. I hardly ever use just one. And some of y'all probably carry the gilding jewels or something similar, but you don't have to use very much at all, and you just take and rub it on, and it really changes the whole look. Makes it very dressy. Isn't that pretty? And let's see. That one is gold, of course. This is moss. So you want to give it a patina look. Isn't that cool? I just love that. And really, you can just about make it any, oh, let's see, color that you want. This is turquoise. Let's put some bling on it and see what it does. And you can even, say, like, use a stencil brush. So, like, put quite a bit on if you want. Put it down and push it down in the crevices. See, like that? I love that turquoise. Isn't that pretty? I like. Okay, now that was the one that was just the black. And then this is the one that had the brilliant metal finish on it. And it's got, I actually like it the way that it is, especially if you were doing something silver or black. Ooh, that would really be pretty on something that was black. And y'all, if you do like mixed media, anything like that on canvas, these are cool to use on there as well. So let me see, let's use something different. How about ruby? Oh, you can kind of see here how this is changing right here. And those are already turned white too. Very cool. Let me kind of brush that around a little bit and see what kind of look we get. Interesting. I like that. I don't think I have used that that spray paint on them, but on any of the molds. But I really like that. I'm gonna have to set that one aside. And then the gold. I really thought that was cool. Let's see. How about royal? Gold, and then the purple for royalty. I don't know that I have used the gold before either, but I just grabbed it this morning and thought it would be something different. Hey, I like that too. Let's see, put some more out here. What do y'all think? I like. That's for royalty, see, gold and purple. Okay, so that is how I do them. And I'm really still irritated that I forgot my glaze. I have a black glaze. And you can take and just don't put any paint on these. Take the white and really saturate it with a black glaze, like an ebony glaze. And then you let it set for just a little bit, and then take a, you really don't want to use a baby white because it'll take too much off, but like a gauze is what I use. I just fold it up in quarters and then just lightly pull it off, and it'll actually look like stone. So that's how you do that. And you can just use them white, and then this is kind of cool as well. I have done this before. That looks almost like a pearly. Isn't that pretty? I hope y'all can see that as well as I can. And I'll take a picture of all of this, everything that I've used, and I'll put it in the post. And the gilding jewels, they are 18. And there's, I forget, I did know at one time, but there's so many colors that have been added to the gilding jewels. But aren't those pretty? I just love that. You can see my hands don't work well with all that stuff. All right, let's see. All right, see, look at that. You can just pop that right out. And it is still pliable right now. So if you wanted to put that on a jug, you can just bend that like that and go ahead and glue it on, and you could go ahead and spray paint it, or you could spray paint it right quick and glue it on, and I use a blow dryer to dry it. And if they are hard, like this one, let me plug my heat gun in. And that's why I do up so many ahead of time, is because I can either, you can use the blow dryer as well. You don't have to have one of these. This is an embossing gun. I'm sorry, it's not a heat gun, it's an embossing gun. And you can take and heat that thing up. And I've got it pretty close, as you can see. I usually do use my blow dryer for this because it seems to heat it up a lot faster. But see, it becomes pliable. See, like that right there. And it'll bend in any shape that you want. You just have to heat it up just a little bit more. But I really like that, even though they're so hard. So blow dryer on that will usually work better, or a heat gun. Just don't hold it too close or too long because it'll melt it. And then if you have any residue like that, you can just take and peel it off. And you know what? Once you get your design done, you can take an X-Acto knife and it'll come right off, because I do that quite often as well. But you know what? If it'll just peel off like that, 9 times out of 10, I don't even pay any attention to it because it's not going to be noticeable. And what I do is I take and the glue that I was talking about comes in a brown bottle. And I just take and use the brush, and you don't want to use too much. And I'll take and just put it on there, and then I'll put it into place. And if it's something round, I'll take a ribbon and tie it, and then tie it really tight, and that will hold it. And if it's books, I just lay it down and put something on top of it. But I try not to put too much because I don't want very much coming out from under. If I do, I take a baby wipe and just wipe off the edges really good. And I'm anxious. Oops, still. I might should have done them first. But those are still not quite ready. But as you can see, I didn't quite get that one full. But that's okay. Next time, probably what I would do, since I wanted these to match, I'd probably go ahead and fill in a little bit more. But there are times that I might fill them like this because I like that look right there, to where it's not completely covered and it kind of looks broken. So, and I will, while this is finishing drying, let's see. Too bad. I kind of worked with this a little bit earlier. But you just have to kind of knead it. And this is air dry. You don't have to bake it. And you just want to take it and you're just going to push it down in there. And you know, they have a knife that if you think you're going to get too much, you can take and run across the top. I don't use it. I've got one, but I usually just am able to push it down with my fingers. And then you can use a brayer to run over the top and push it down in there as well, once you get your clay in there. And you can actually go ahead and glue these onto your project and let them dry, and then continue painting and just paint them. And some people will go ahead with them not dry and paint. I don't have the patience for that. And there will be some cracking with this type of clay. I don't know about the other one yet. I haven't messed with it. But like the brayer, you could take and it will be, you know what, that right there works just as well, and it will push the excess off. Just like that. And then what you do is you're just going to turn it over. And there you go. That's how easy that is to do. And that doesn't have a lot of water. That's kind of old, but there you go. That's all you have to do. And it just comes right out. And then that right there will peel off once it's dry. See, and I like the way that you can kind of get cracks as it dries, but I'll just kind of pull that apart where you can kind of see. That's cool. So it just depends on the look that you're going for. Okay. All right. That one's still a little damp, but let's see what we got. Pretty cool, huh? I like that. So, and see, that's still real pliable because it's still heated. But you know what? If you had some of these and say you had this one and, you know, it was the same color or different color, say it was pink or yellow or whatever, and then you could layer. That would really be pretty. Let's see. Gilding jewels on top. Let's do the gold since it's a flower. Oh my. I do like that. Isn't that pretty? Mm-hmm. I like. Let's see. I wished another one would come out and I'd do the silver. Let's see if I can get another one out. There we go. Okay, silver. Very cool. All right, y'all, I think that pretty much gets everything, and I hope that I have helped y'all to see how to do this, and if you have any questions, please just ask, and as soon as I get through, I'll answer them for you. And I do appreciate y'all jumping in. And hey, listen, if y'all got something that y'all want to teach, I'd be glad to have you come on live here, and y'all list some stuff for sale. Thanks, y'all. I appreciate it.